Wedeter, home AI and technology business and money books and publishing resources. Wedeter editorial, June 2026, 6-minute read. How I use AI to plan, write, and solve problems faster. A practical guide. I spent years treating AI like a magic wand. I wanted it to write every paragraph, solve every coding bug, and plan every business move while I sat back and watched the results roll in. But what I found was that the most powerful AI was not the one that wrote the best prose. It was the one that helped me organize my own scattered thoughts. Today, my workflow is different. I use AI not to bypass thinking, but to accelerate it. The key for me was shifting away from an all-cloud approach to a hybrid one that prioritizes privacy, control, and clarity over raw power. In my experience, the biggest bottleneck isn't the AI model itself, it's the friction caused by constantly sending unfinished, private, or messy ideas to a remote server. By setting up a private AI workstation that lives entirely on my computer, I have reclaimed my creative space. Whether you're a beginner looking to automate daily tasks or a professional needing a private space to test ideas, here's how I use AI to plan, write, and solve problems faster. My hybrid AI workflow, local first, cloud second. The core of my productivity system is the private first rule. When I have a new project, a raw journal entry, a sensitive business note, or an unfinished draft, I start locally. I use an app like Alima to run a small model directly on my computer. This keeps my early thoughts off the internet entirely. Why start local? Because early work is often ugly. A first plan is usually chaotic. A first argument is often blunt. A first decision list may contain client details I am not ready to expose to a cloud platform. When I work locally, I don't have to worry about platform filters blocking my train of thought or corporate policies changing overnight. I can ask mature questions, explore unpopular arguments, or troubleshoot blunt technical issues without a disclaimer parade interrupting me. Once my thoughts are organized, summarized, or outlined, I decide if I need more power. If I need fresh research, web access, or the immense reasoning capability of a massive cloud model, I copy the refined, anonymized text and move it to the cloud. By the time I hit the cloud, my material is already polished. I have saved myself time, kept my privacy intact, and used the right tool for the right stage of the work. The prompt formula that actually works. Most AI tutorials give you massive, paragraph-long prompts that are exhausting to write. In my testing, I found that small models, the kind that run on your own hardware, are actually easier to direct if you use a strict formula. I rely on a four-part structure I call the prompt formula: role, task, format, and limit. Here is the standard formula I use for almost everything. Role: act as a specific type of assistant, e.g., plain English assistant, project manager, or editor. Task: the specific action I need, e.g., turn these notes into steps. Format: the structure I want, e.g., a checklist, a bulleted list, or a summary. Limit: what the AI must avoid, e.g., do not add assumptions or do not add fluff. For example, instead of asking an AI to write a plan for my project, I use act as a plain English assistant. Turn these notes into 5 steps. Use a checklist. Do not add assumptions. This works because it reduces the model's tendency to wander or hallucinate. It focuses the output on what I actually need, which saves me time on editing. Troubleshooting when AI stops helping. Even with a good prompt, things break. In my experience, troubleshooting a local AI setup is rarely about the computer's soul. It is usually about the balance between the model size and the machine's resources. When an AI answer becomes slow, incoherent, or repetitious, I follow a quick troubleshooting sequence. First, I check my prompt length. If I paste a massive document into a small model, it will stumble. I break the task into smaller chunks. Second, I look at the model I chose. If I am running a model that is too large for my available memory, the entire machine will slow down. I switch to a smaller, beginner model. Third, I check for model fatigue. Sometimes if I ask the same model to do too many different things in one session, it gets confused. A simple restart of the chat clears the state. If the AI starts giving me moral lectures or refusing to answer, it usually means the topic hit a filter. This is where moving that specific task to a local model one I have more control over is a lifesaver. Local AI doesn't remove judgment, but it removes the annoying automated interruptions that kill productivity. I stay responsible for my own verification, but I get to finish my thought. Decision-making examples in my daily life. The most useful way I use AI is for decision-making. I rarely use AI to make the final choice. I use it to clarify the options. Here are two practical examples from my daily workflow. Example 1, project planning. When I'm launching a new article series, I have a mess of ideas. I paste them into my local AI. I use my prompt formula, act as a project manager, extract the action items from these notes, format as a table, limit to 3 priorities per week. The AI doesn't launch the project, but it turns my brain dump into a manageable list in seconds. I then look at that list and decide which tasks are actually realistic. Example 2, troubleshooting technical issues. If I'm stuck on a coding bug or a computer problem, I don't want to type a query into a search engine and sift through 10 ads. I paste the error message into my local AI. Act as a technical troubleshooter. Explain this error in plain English. Give me 3 possible causes. Do not suggest anything risky. It gives me a starting point. From there, I investigate. It saves me from staring at the problem for an hour without a plan. This is the difference between a tool that does the work for you and a tool that helps you do the work better. The AI becomes a thinking partner, not a replacement for your own logic. Key takeaways. Start local. Use a local AI workstation for private, messy, or unfinished tasks to maintain privacy and creative freedom. Use the formula. Stick to the role, task, format, limit structure for every prompt to get consistent, usable results. Start small. You do not need a supercomputer to run AI. Start with small, efficient models and upgrade your hardware only after you have proven you need the extra power. Verification is mandatory. A local AI can hallucinate just like a cloud AI. Always verify facts, legal advice, financial data, and technical instructions. Keep cloud for heavy lifting. Use cloud tools for tasks that genuinely require stronger reasoning, web access, or fresh information, but only after your work is ready for the public. AI is a tool that requires intention. When you treat it as an extension of your own desk rather than an external oracle, you stop being a user of a service and start being the architect of your own workflow. By keeping the early, private, and messy stages of my work on my own machine, I have not only reclaimed my privacy, I have reclaimed the ability to think clearly without being managed by an algorithm. The simplest setup is usually the strongest one. Have you tried running a model locally yet? Start with the smallest one available, run your first test, and see how much more control you have over your daily planning. Related articles. The Silent Trap of PDT of 2026, How to Start a Newsletter Local AI versus Cloud AI, Best AI Tools for Beginners, Best Local AI Tools, How I Use AI, Self-Publishing Basics, AI Tools, Business Tools, Publishing Tools, Websites Worth Bookmarking Report, Margin Risk on Cash Secured Puts. Wedeter. We determine what connects. Explore. Home AI and technology business and money books and publishing resources. Quick links. About privacy policy terms of use contact. Copyright 2026 Wedeter.com. We determine what connects.